Hello, everyone. Welcome to our new format for blogging applications. Um, Currently, I think this is week 12 of blogging applications. Modify the syllabus. You should be able to find that document on D2L. So we'll go over that a little bit, and then we'll go over kind of the what I was intending to do in class, and just kind of move things around and talk about how we're going to approach the rest of the semester. I hope everyone's doing well. I know this is not what we expected when the semester started, but we're adapting here. So anyways, let's look over our schedule. This video is for week 12, which is April 6th through April 10th, the Monday through Friday for that. And I'm going to set things up so that if you remember our last class right before spring break, we installed WordPress on the Macs, and I was hoping we could use that for the rest of the semester. Obviously, that's changed, so I'm going to go through how to install that on Windows. If you have a Mac at home, go back and look at the video for that. But let's look at our schedule first. So today we're going to demonstrate how to install WordPress on Windows. It works a little different. The Xampp setup and whatnot are a little bit different. And then on the week of the 13th, April 13th through April 17th, I'm going to have a lecture on user roles inside WordPress. And I'm going to give you a homework file, WordPress user homework presented. That's going to be due on Wednesday at noon on D2L on April 22nd. So you can see next that it's going to be due in the middle of week 14. Then we'll look at theme customization. I'm going to give you the final project. That's going to be due on the Wednesday of finals week. Then we have import, export, miscellaneous. I'm going to give you a second homework assignment there. That's going to be due on May 6th. And then the week before finals, we'll look at GitHub and Jekyll. And then finals week is May 11th through May 15th. There's a final project, and normally I have people present that. But obviously, we're not going to be meeting face-to-face here, so I'm just going to replace that with a paper. So that the details of that will all be presented on week 13, next lecture. So so we can see our 2020 schedule has been modified. On D2L, there's a couple weeks they're deleted on there. Just start with week 12 and go from there. The first video lecture will be available on Monday, April 6th at 8 a.m. on D2L under Material Content Week 12, along with any lecture material. I'll add more material on week 13, 14, 15, 16, so on and so forth, and release it on Mondays at 8 a.m. Just went over, there's 2 homework assignments and a final project. We can kind of see how that works here. This lecture I think is really important because you'll want to know how to navigate around to do your local WordPress setup, because you'll kind of have to go and create a different database for the final project. So we can talk about that when we get to the details of the final project. A couple things too. I realize this is a difficult time for everybody, and I'll try to be as flexible as possible with any student requests. If you have specific needs or any questions, please make sure to email me. I'm thinking too, I might do some virtual office hours, but I haven't quite figured out the time, probably using Zoom. So we can kind of take a look at that. So thanks so much for your understanding and your patience in all this while we adapt to this new delivery format. So anyways, let's dive right in. There should be a file here, WordPress setup on Windows using Xampp. So we begin, Xampp works a little differently on Windows. It's actually easier, I think, than it does on a Mac. But we still go to the same website, apachefriends.org. So go to apachefriends.org and we can see what is Xampp. And let me make my window just a little bit bigger here. There we go. We can download it for Windows, for Linux, or Mac. Obviously, last lecture we did it here. It was already installed. Here, I'd like you to install it on your computer at home. Now, if you don't have a computer at home, neither a Windows nor a Mac computer, the Open Lab will be open at St. Paul College. It's been moved to the first floor. I don't have the details yet of which room it's going to be in or the lab hours as of this recording, but that's an option. Anyways, click on Xampp for Windows, and a download will begin. I've already downloaded it right here on my desktop, so I'm going to set that up real quick. So we click on it. Do you want to allow this app to change your device? Yes, I do. I trust it. So it's thinking there. And it's bundled with Bitnami. We get this warning message. I've never had a problem with it, so just hit OK. Setup, next. Have it check everything just for the heck of it. Next. It's going to put it in C:/Xampp. That's the directory. Next. Empty folder not found. Oops. Oh, 1 second here. Let me make one little change. I've installed this before and then uninstalled it, so we kind of need to play around with that. I'm just going to delete that. There we go. Okay, next. Again, it pops up my browser to tell me more about Xampp. Next. And then this part may take a minute or so. It's just kind of unpacking files and takes a little while. So I may edit this out in the final version of this. But we'll just keep on recording for now. And anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's pretty stressful. A lot of people working from home and staying home and things like that. But I hope people are having some fun or finding ways to have fun at home. I don't know. I just started Hulu. We had Netflix before, but I got Hulu and a lot of old shows there, so that's been kind of fun. I've been reading a little bit more too, which is kind of nice. My wife works from home, and my son's doing school from home, so it's been kind of busy around our house here during the day. So, okay, it's taking a while. Again, I might just edit this out. Maybe while we're at it, if you want to, we're obviously eventually going to be installing WordPress. If you want to go to wordpress.org and click on Get WordPress, that should bring you to wordpress.org/download. And there is the compressed file right there. As of today, it's WordPress 5.3.2. If you want to download that and get that set up. So you can check that out. Again, I've already done that to save a little time, but just something to look at when we get there. Okay, about halfway through the install procedure. Some notes, some things when we look through our notes here. The procedure is very similar. Now we can one of the things is we can use the normal HTML port or HTTP port, which is port 80. So in the Mac version, we always had to map it to a new port 8080. So we will be typing in 127.0.0.1. Or you can also type in localhost. If you remember for the Mac version of this, we always had to type in 127.0.0.1:8080. So we don't have to do that here, which is kind of nice. Again, this is a special Internet Protocol address called a loopback address. And we can either put in 127.0.0.1 or we can put in the word localhost. And it should work the same for all of these. So let's see, how's Xampp doing? Okay, getting closer. And it's kind of cool. We're doing WordPress. This here is Drupal. One of these is Joomla, and then the one with the M with the mortarboard on it. That's kind of a content management system. It's similar to D2L, but I believe it's open source, kind of used in this one right here. Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, many other popular open sources. So I forget what that one is, but I played around with it. It's nice, but we bought D2L here at St. Paul College and across the Minnesota college system. So that's the one that we're using, at least as of today. So see, I'm curious now. Is that Mortarboard, I think is the name of it, maybe? Favorite applications. I'm curious. Okay, that's Joomla, that's Drupal. Moodle, not Mortarboard, Moodle. So you can kind of see that one. There's some other neat ones that we have here. OpenCard I know is used, I think, for like if you're processing credit cards and stuff like that, I think on, oh, here we go. Finish. And the nice part, as soon as we're done, it'll launch it. We want to do this in English, so we'll choose the American flag, save. And that's what Xampp looks like. You can see a little bit different than the Mac version that we had here. Now, let's see, I'll move this over here and this right here. Starting things up are really simple. Over here in Xampp, once it's started up, we just have to click that button and that button. Click Start for Apache and MySQL. We don't need FileZilla, Mercury, or Tomcat up and running. And the nice part, I think if we just stick with the defaults, we don't need to go into config or anything like that. So I didn't get any warning messages. If you do, again, people have different versions of Windows. So if you get any kind of warning messages, just say, that's fine, let it run. Let's open up Explorer here. So if I click right here on Explorer, it'll open up Windows Explorer, but it will bring us to C:\Xampp. And then we can see here are all the files inside Xampp. So htdocs, again, that's short for hypertext documents. If we go inside there, that's where we're going to have all the files that we're hosting on our web server. So this is eventually where we're going to put WordPress in. So just reading through our directions here. Go to Explorer. We can see there's htdocs. Open a browser and enter 127.0.0.1 in the navigation bar. If everything's working well, we should be redirected to the Xampp Dashboard page, which looks like this. 127.0.0.1. It redirects here to 127.0.0.1/dashboard, and we get the welcome to Xampp. So we can see what that looks like and show the other stuff that we have here. So that's pretty nice. That basically kind of refers to, we can see this file, index.php, will redirect us into this folder called Dashboard. And inside Dashboard, there's index.html. So that's kind of how that redirect works. Again, we can type in 127.0.0.1 or localhost. We're going to set up our database here before we install WordPress. So I'm going to go to localhost /php myadmin and php myadmin. There we go. We can see something like that. I'm just going to go along. You can, again, refer to the document of how we set up the database right here. So I'm going to go in and click on the Databases tab. The name of my database, I'm going to call it WordPress 1. Now you'll have to go through this procedure again for the final project, and obviously you'll create a new database called, WordPress 2, WordPress 3, something like that. Over under this column, I'm going to choose UTF-8_general. Yep. UTF-8, I don't want the MB. Just UTF-8_general_CI and say McAfee. Create. Okay, so the database has been created. Now we need to go over to the Privileges tab, which is right here. If your screen's really short, you might just see More, and then you have to go to Privileges. But if you got it in widescreen, you click Privileges, and we're going to create an account that can access this database. So we have to say Add User Account. This pops on. Username. I'm going to say use text field, and the name of that is we're going to all be the same and call this student01. Host name, we're going to switch that to local, and it should automatically fill in localhost there. Under password, we're going to say use text field, and we're going to type in TOPSECRET1. TOP is capitalized, and then secret is lowercase, and then we tacked a 1 on the end of it. And we need to retype that again, TOP, lowercase SECRET1. And I believe we keep everything else the same. This should be checked, grant all privileges on database WordPress 1. If it's not, check it. We keep everything else blank, and we go right here to this button and click Go. And the database has been created. Next, we go to WordPress.org, go to our browser, and go to wordpress.org and click on Get WordPress. Should bring us to the download directory, and we download that zip file. I've already done that, but I put it on the desktop. It's a compressed file, so it's sitting right there. I'm going to right-click and say Extract All, and I'll extract it just on the desktop there. Takes a second. And again, as of today, it's 5.3.2. Who knows when the next version will come out and be updated. Get my notes over here. Extraction's kind of taking a little while. I'm testing out Cam Studio here, Camtasia, and I just got the trial version, so I think there might be a watermark kind of across the screen here, so I apologize for that. But normally I do my screen recordings on a Mac, but I wanted to, obviously, to show how to install on Windows, you need a Windows computer here. Let me clean up a few things. I can probably dump this away. Delete. There we go. Here's my WordPress folder. It's still extracting it. A lot of hurry up and wait on this example. Almost there. 85% complete. 90. Come on. And there we are. All right. Okay, so inside that folder is a folder called WordPress. So you can see I'm going to delete that. And here's it's WordPress-5.3.2. And then if I open that up, we can see inside there's a WordPress folder. I want to copy that folder into my htdoc. So over here, I'm going to click on Explorer again. And you can see we get our second window. I go into it, we're in C:\Xampp, I go into htdocs, and then I'm going to grab WordPress here and plop it down right there, copy it over. And we'll see again, if you remember last lecture, inside WordPress we've got 3 folders: WP admin, WP content, WP includes, and then a bunch of files, most of them with a .php extension behind them there. So we've put WordPress in there. So following along, we just did this. So we're at the end of page 1. Now in our browser, I'm going to go to 127.0.0.1/WordPress and go through the WordPress installation. So 127.0.0.1/WordPress. That's the folder. And since this is the first time we're doing it, we'll go through the installation. Pick your language. I'm picking English there. English United States. Continue. There we go. And we need a database name, username, password, host, and a table prefix that we have here. We have that information, so let's go. And that information is right here. So for my database name, I called it WordPress 1. That's the when in Xampp, that was the database that I set up. The username for that, we use student01. The password was TOPSECRET1. Database host, localhost, and then just use WP_ for our table prefix. Submit. Okay, all right, you made it through this part of the installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database. If you're ready, it's time now to run the install. So we click Run the Install. There we go. We're at this point. Site title. Blog for Darren, Pearson. Username. Again, I think I'll go with student01. And I'm also going to go with the same password, top secret one. They don't need to be the same, but I like to do it just to keep things simple. Confirm password, yep. In case I totally goof up and lose my password, this is where it's going to send password recovery request to, and I'll say install. So it's thinking. I'm using Chrome here. There we go. Success. That's what we like to see. So it's time to log in. Now when I log in, I kind of think I have this in my notes here. This will bring you on the next one. I'll either go to the WP login page or WP admin. I forget how it's configured. There we go. WP login. And I'm going to log in now as student01, and my password will be top secret 1. I'm going to choose remember me, so my browser will remember my username and password, so I don't have to enter that in so much. And there we see our dashboard. So I'm going to dismiss it right there, but we can see kind of our regular dashboard. Let's go in and create a post. Let me see, there should be, I think hello world is already there. Now again, when I'm in 127.0.0.1/WordPress/WP-admin, that's my dashboard view. If I go to 127.0.0.1/WordPress, this is my public view. Now, even though I call it public view, I can only see it on my local network here. But you kind of get the idea. Let's go in and create, I'm going to say posts, add new, just to verify that I make changes and I can see them change. Add title. Woohoo! Exclamation. Let's put 3 exclamation marks. I did it. I installed WordPress on a Windows laptop. And okay, nothing too amazing there, but publish, publish. And if I refresh it, there's my woohoo blog post. I did it. I installed WordPress. So, following along here, we just created a post, talked about where we can view it. Again, substitute 127.0.0.1 for localhost, whatever you like to do. I'm going to create a second post, but put a photo with that just so we can see how that works. So again, here's my public view. I'll go back here. I'll say posts, all posts. I'll say add new. Title of this post, great photo, eh? I'll put a block before it. Here's a photo from a few years ago in Canada. And then here, I'll click Canada. Then I have another block. For this block, instead of just typing, I'm going to click the image. I could also do a heading or a gallery. I'm going to do an image, and I'll say upload. I got this image, canada.jpg, sitting on my desktop. You can go find a different image. It'll take a second to upload it. See, it's kind of thinking. While it's thinking, I'll write a caption, and I'll just say, this is, it's not Vancouver, it's outside Vancouver, British Columbia. And then I'll add something down here, and I'll say, just a text post. Fun times in BC, period. And publish, publish. Okay, I refresh. And great photo, eh? Here we are, fun times in BC. So I can see that it's taking how that's working. I wanted to show where that photo is stored. So if I go in and open up the Explorer here, I'll go into htdocs, WordPress, and this is going to be in WordPress content. So anything I upload is content. Also themes and plugins are content. So I'll go into it created a folder called Uploads, and then it will create a bunch of subfolders, first by year. So inside 2020, there's a subfolder called 03 for March. It knows it's March 2020. And there's the original photo, and then it does a bunch of different versions of that photo. So we get some really small ones, some really big ones, stuff like that, so we can use them for previews and stuff like that. So just kind of showing how that works. So Let's take a look. We just finished this part right there. Let's show how we can change themes. We can do this real easy. When we had some restrictions in the lab with the Macs, but if I go again, if I go to my dashboard right here, and I'm going to go down to Appearance and submenu Themes. There's 4 themes in there. It looks like 2020 is currently the active one. I could switch to 2019, 2017, 2016. With the Mac Lab, we had to go to wordpress.org, go to Themes, browse around, find a compressed file, download it, put it in the WP Content Themes folder, something like that. It's a lot easier here, but I do just want to point out something quick right before I do this. Again, Explorer, htdocs, WordPress, WP Content. Right here in Themes, you can see I have an index file and then 1, 2, 3, 4 folders. When I'm done with this, I'll come back and there should be 5 folders there. So this was kind of the old way of doing it. Since we don't have the FTP restrictions, at least I don't here at home, it's a lot easier. I'm just going to go in here in Themes. I'm going to say Add New. And what this does is it contacts WordPress.org, looks in the themes, and shows all the different ones. And you can see what they look like. I'm going to install Astra. So I'm just going to search for the word Astra. And here's Astra, and here's one called Astrol. I'll do this one. I'll say Install. And what it's doing is it's connecting to WordPress.org, getting all the information from the theme, downloading it, putting it in that WP Content/Themes folder. And then once it's downloaded, I'll activate it. There we go. Activate. So we can only have, so now this one's the one that's currently active. If I go here and refresh, again, the content is still there, but you can see it looks a little bit different. And again, in this one, it says Great Photo A, and I see a little bit, but I have to click on it then to actually see the details of the post that we have right there. The other thing that I'll point out here is, here we go. Yep, there's Astra. So that is sitting inside that folder, so we can then see that kind of corresponds in our dashboard to, yep, here's the Astra theme 2019, 2017, 2016, 2020. So so I just did this second method. So I activated it and customized it. We'll do some more stuff here. But when we're done here, it's always a good idea not to leave your server kind of running all the time. So I'm going to go into Xampp, and it's just a matter of stop and stop. Clicking 2 buttons. We've quit running Apache, and our database has quit running. And we can prove that by if I just go right here and hit refresh, this site cannot be reached. So it tried connecting to 127.0.0.1, and it couldn't make a connection. So we can quit Xampp. I just did this, tried going to my WordPress site, can't be reached. We can then have to kind of start, we can, close our computer down, come back the next day, start our computer up, start Xampp up, click the start buttons for Apache and MySQL, and then go to localhost/WordPress or localhost/WordPress/WP admin to get to the dashboard. So let me just start it up again. Start and start. Okay, they're both green. Yep, now I just go to WordPress to kind of see the front page. Oops, that's fine. Or I go to 127.0.0.1/WordPress/WP admin, WordPress administration, and I'm at my dashboard. So that's pretty much the setup. So I'd like you to go through that. Again, watch the video. Go along. There's a handout with it. This handout with it too, especially. Go ahead and use Student 01 and Top Secret. And again, it's case sensitive, so do that. And again, just kind of refer to the handout for what you need to put in when you're configuring the database. So no homework for class here today. Just want you to get this up and running, and then we'll go from there. So thanks. Hope everyone's having a good week, and make sure to on, what is it? Make sure on Monday, double check our syllabus here, April 13th, log on and get the videos and student files for the week 13 lecture. So thanks. Have a great day. Bye.